going on today? Pretty fun. Pretty good. Nothing wrong with anything. I'm not doing a lot remember this is recording again. I'm not pretty sure about what I'm going to say. Only, but literally, it happens a lot with so many things recently. Been facing with some people, meeting people, and had a meeting as well when I was attending some meetings, and I just make analysis. Whether or not my analysis is going to be a really nice conclusion about how to see people, or not, it depends on you guys. I would say, apa kabar? Selamat siang semua. I'm gonna have to take my tea. All right, I'm already now a YouTube creator. What does that say? YouTube content creator. Because I got one. So I got two, and I'm wearing one of them. Excuse me, I'm gonna have to slow down my tea. It's still really fancy tea, actually. You know, everyone. I'm a bit anti-mainstream. I'm not really like people usually taking a tea or maybe coffee by a special mug, but this one doesn't look like it's really special, but the taste is really special. This is why I really need today. Outside, I don't know whether you can hear all the noises in the background. People next door are celebrating the Augustish. I prefer to say Augustus because Indonesian people say Augustus, and I don't know whether it's the right word or not. I'm saying in English. But anyways, is it YouTube creator? All right. Well, all right. As an opening, I quite see so many people doing, or maybe when they're making their choices, doing presentation, and then they count on, they really counted on following the stereotypical of people usually, you know, well mannered, well educated, literate people. They usually use English, or sometimes just mixed with their with the national language. But all right, what is the key of having a meeting, or especially when you're having a social meeting, that you have a point here, and then the point is, and then you're becoming the presenter, and then your job is trying to you're trying to focus your presentation into making a really good point, so the viewers or the audience or with you will understand. And the case that not many people care is we have layers that we're working. In our office, your office probably, you know. So if you mean to address a meeting and so you're making some points and then you're trying to address a few basic few points and you're trying to address this for all layers of employees in your company, my suggestion is make it as simple as possible. Just make it as simple as possible. Unless people will think that you're involved in favoritism. You know, like most people, they're favoritize rich people. They tend to give more rich people benefits or helps or supports rather than people who don't have. And like a twin, for example, the twin brother, sisters, aunts, uncles, whoever they are, when they're twins, one another sometimes feel the same reaction, not physically, but usually psychologically. And but actually they don't. It's just a feeling that run inside their psychological. Sometimes they feel it physically. But nowadays people are just really concerned about their physical condition rather than psychological condition. That's what I'm trying to make my points of view here. People who think more about physical health, it means they only think about physical hygiene rather than psychological hygiene. People like the part of psychological hygiene is like loneliness, sadness, failures. And if you think that you're brushing your teeth 3 times a day, once you just wake up early in the morning and then you don't do anything, just go to the toilet, take your toothbrush, with a fancy toothbrush using a battery or something, you just put it in like this and then let it just work by itself. Anything you would do just work the concern of your physical hygiene. Some people get sneezed, by nails, and they're starting to be real panic. I can see some blood here, blah blah, and then some fingers. Sometimes it's as wives or maybe husbands, girlfriends, maybe boyfriends. Can you just suck my fingers? I cannot see blood. Why? Because people frustrated when they're really in deep situation, really deep, bad, worse situation of their psychological states. I'm not trying to be cocky here, you know, and I'm not making like trying to make some sassy points. I'm not trying to offend other people here, but this is only about my thoughts. Um, when you have money, for example, you don't have a really good job, you have a really low pay, and then once thinking about, oh, I just want to be like other people. They can just go free to any malls, they go free, just use a credit card and pay as it takes. Have some stacks of stuff in the cart and then pay everything. But they know they cannot do that every month, for buying stuff to fulfill needs in the month. And then they always usually make some plans. Okay, I'm going to buy only this. I'm going to buy only one bar of soap. I'm going to buy only one tube of toothpaste. I'm going only to buy one crate of pizzas for this month. I cannot get more than that because I know my balance. I need to balance my expenses with the inputs I'm making. I'm earning money, but if only I only concentrate my needs, I cannot fulfill any other needs, and but there will be the time later when they have a really good job, a really good pay, and one at a time, and then they go splurge, spending more money. Sometimes I forget. Oh, I already bought this. I don't really I bought this. What is it for? Oh, I forgot. I just saw it. Took it from the shelf. I saw. I read it at a glance. I don't really. What is it really for? And I just bought it. I put somewhere in my house, but I forget where I put it. And once I found it, but I forgot what to use. What was the use? What is it for? Why? Because people are just thinking about their physical health rather than psychological health. It's like when you're walking along the shoreline, the waves suddenly just come over, right? And you'll be really vulnerable at having hit by the water, or you're not going to get caught anyways, because you're on the shoreline. But units is fake late in case that you don't want to get wet, so you just need to step aside a little bit to avoid the wave. But some people just like to play the waves. Some people like to be in the water, but the water is really dangerous, especially when talking about the ocean. No one really wants to play in the middle of the ocean, but people love playing at the shoreline, walking at the seaside, seeing the sunset. Sometimes just playing, making something on the sand makes them happy, or psychological needs. They can meet their psychological needs is that to for the sake of their psychological hygiene. That's more important. People are really lonely, sad, and they have a really great failure in their lives. The effect of that much worse than you're missing some bullet points of treatment, or like taking medicine for your health. People who are lonely and sad and depressed, they're vulnerable with vulnerable to blood pressure, cancer. So people who are literally in deep trouble, and then you feel a little bit like you're having a headache or maybe dizziness in your head. Think about that, whether you're lonely or not, in your social life. How you talk and socialize people. Did you make a mistake with that? I know people aren't really concerned about shortcoming. I must have my own shortcoming, but you know that's also how you see other people. You can accept them with their shortcomings. It will revive the ability. You can strive back and keeping your life good. And somehow all this resilience, making barrier. You cannot really accept people who's not in the same, you know, in the same wave with you. You don't really need to kick them out of your life. They will just dissipate by themselves. Once they feel bored, once they feel they don't need you anymore, they will just dissipate. Like the water, like I said before, on the shoreline, it will come over to you and touch your feet, but somehow it will just subside and dissipate. But it will come back, hit you again, and stay there. Or maybe it's just coming up on the shore, and it stays there, lasts maybe 20 or 30 seconds, and then it moves back again to the sea. That's how the life goes. That's how all negativity in life should be. And you cannot keep yourself staying in negativity. You need to think positive. Do not make people confused. Once you want to make it a presentation, a really good one, don't confuse people, but make really clear and good points so people can understand. It's already helped you. They will love you somehow. Well, I make this points because it's been quite a long time I don't post anything on YouTube, so I just mumbling around today. I'm out of words. I just like seeing my lights pretty old. But yeah, that's all. My joy is your joy, your joy is my joy. My grave is your grave is also my grave. So I just like to share happiness and joy to everyone. Hopefully, my video this time will not confuse you. You understand? I feel grateful. If you don't understand, play it one more time until you get it. Well, thanks anyways. Goodbye. And see you guys, people. Somehow, somewhere, sometime. Bye bye.